Hello, so I wanted to do a video on M65 jackets because I really like M65 jackets and recommend them a lot. I think I did a video on one of my M65s years ago, so I thought I'd do another one. Because I do have in fact two M65 jackets I found out a couple of weeks ago, which is nice. One of them had just been obviously bought years ago, put somewhere, and then I thought, I've got another M65, so that's this one, the one that's in US woodland camouflage. So I'll step back. Unfortunately, camcorders are not very wide angle unless you buy the really expensive ones, so you might not see the jacket that well, but this will be the best I can do. I might lay them out at the end of the video on the floor and then try and film them that way. So what is an M65 jacket? Simply put, an M65 jacket is an all-weather jacket the US made in the 1960s, I'd assume 1965, judging by the name. And the idea was that it was a very good sort of troop sort of jacket that could do everything. So what we'll do is I'll fully zip it up, then we'll go over the features of it, and then I'll show you the sort of two I've got. Okay, so what you have here is obviously the top of the jacket there. Now you'll notice that there's a zip there. That's because there's a hood. You can either zip this into the jacket when you don't want it, or you can wear the hood. The hood is probably the weakest part of the M65 jacket, but it's still serviceable. You basically do that with it. And obviously you could tie it like that, and then you've got your hood that's going to keep you fairly warm and dry. M65 jackets are not totally waterproof, but they are very water resistant, so in like heavy rain you'd want an actual raincoat. In light rain, light snow, anything like that, the M65 is absolutely fine. So if I pan the camera down, hopefully I can show you the features as I pan down. So what you should be able to see there is two breast pockets, and the breast pockets aren't that deep. If you have a modern mobile phone that's got like a 5-inch screen, 6-inch screen, that's not going to quite fit. The top's going to poke out, but they will fit in the bottom pockets. So obviously you've got buttons and the zip all the way down. They're normally brass on M65 jackets. Okay, and then obviously there's the lower two pockets, and these are the deeper ones, as you can see, so you can keep your hands fully in there, and they work quite well. They're very good if you want to put your phone or wallet in them, because they're quite deep, and obviously it's where you can see them. If you've got them on the front, they just have a single button up. At the bottom there is a sort of pull cord on each side that obviously makes the jacket tighter. I never really bothered doing that at the bottom. Okay, and inside there is a liner, the all-weather liner. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you my other M65 that I'm not wearing, and I'll show you what's inside them. Okay, so here's my sort of tan, sand-coloured yellow M65. This is the one I really like. Both are good. This one is an official one from some surplus place. This one is like a company making something that's like a very close copy of an M65. The thing is with M65s is the US made them for years and years and years. They might still make them. And lots of other countries bought the rights to make M65 jackets, so you have both official nations making them to sort of military standards, then you have lots of companies that make them to sort of very good standards as well, then you have lots of fashion companies that make crap M65s. So make sure if you buy them, you buy either a surplus one in good condition, or you buy a company that makes them to the same quality as the military standards. So, okay, what do you get? So, there you can see the liner in there. See where you can remove it with the buttons. If you remove the liner in the M65, it looks a lot less thin and not so bulky. But obviously I'm assuming that you're probably going to want this as a winter coat, sort of a rough weather coat, rather like I would use mine for, rather than being a you know, thing, sort of warm weather coat. But yeah, if you took the liner out, the jacket is much thinner. It's sort of a bit more like a safari jacket. But obviously that liner is what really keeps you warm. It's sort of the quilted liner. So I'll let you, I won't read it all, but I'll let you see what's on the label there. As you see, it's got the NATO sizes, washing instructions. This particular one I let get quite grubby, because this yellow one is the one that sits in the boot of my car, so if ever I'm out somewhere and I need a jacket on because it's cold or windy or wet or whatever, I can just stick this M65 on. I also use it when I'm volunteering at the Blue Cross. If I'm there and it's a really cold day, I'll put this on top of my fleece, just because of how good these are at trapping heat. So again, you can see there that there's the zipper. The hood on this one I've got folded away. The hood sits in there where there's like a little bit of a bulge in the jacket. But yeah, it's up to you whether you like the hoods or not. So let's put him down a second. I'll show you what the labels say on this one, which isn't the official M65. That yellow one did come with the pull cords at the bottom, but I think it came out eventually, and obviously I didn't bother re-threading it through because I never used it anyway. So as you can see, this one is actually in a size medium, so the sizes might vary a bit, because this one is about the same size as a small in that one on me, and this is a medium. So obviously that's got the instructions on, again, some sort of washing instructions. But yeah, M65s are very simple, great jackets, as I said, because the liner is removable. That's one of the really nice features. So you can have a sort of jacket that works in the cold if you wanted to, or you can have, you know, a warm weather type thing. You can also button up bits of this as well if you really wanted to. Let me button that up so I can sort of demonstrate what that looks like. There's also quite a few bits of Velcro on M65 jackets, so if you wanted to, you know, make certain bits tighter or looser, you can normally do that with the Velcro as well. Okay, so now let me pop this on again, and I think this is just going to make the bit with the hood a lot more kind of compressed in, sort of slimmer. So it looks a bit silly at the moment. Another good thing is, despite this one being a kind of imitation M65 made by, I guess, a clothing company, not an actual military supplier, it actually does have the proper infrared protection on, so you see that kind of keeps the collar back like that. I definitely prefer that unbuttoned myself, because otherwise it's a bit, you know, tight around there, but if you wanted it like that, you could have it like that. But yeah, M65 jackets are brilliant if you want a jacket that has lots of pocket space. As I said, because you've got 4 frontal pockets on it. They don't normally have inside pockets, obviously, because you've got the liner in there. If you want something that's, you know, comfortable, I said, like, you've got the Velcro sleeves that you can easily adjust. There's normally other bits of Velcro on it to tighten or loosen parts. So it's a jacket, basically, that you can, for me, I'd say it's good to have one in the house, one in your car. And then, you know, no matter what's going on with the weather, you can adjust a jacket to suit the weather quite well, unless it's torrential rain or something like that. So M65 jackets are really good. And I said, if you're sensible about buying it, don't buy one from a crappy fashion company. Buy it from a company that is either a proper military surplus sort of thing, or a company that makes them to sort of as military standard. You can get M65 jackets, you know, for like £30 to £40 for ones in very good condition. You know, some of them not even worn. That yellow one I had was still packed in its original kind of shrink wrap type stuff, even though it had some old date stamps on some of that stuff. But yeah, these are very good jackets if you just want an all-weather jacket. They come in lots of different colours and camouflage patterns as well. Obviously, if it's a third-party company making them, they can really print them in whatever pattern they want. The most famous ones is like that brown one I have there. There's also one in olive drab green, that's the Rambo M65 jacket. Then obviously US Woodland's another famous one that you see lots of people with, because I think at the end of Vietnam sort of era, that's when they were printing them with this kind of colour, or camo pattern. And if you look at some of the others, you can pretty much get M65s in majority of camos. Like you can get the Swedish one that's quite good with that weird angular camouflage they have. I don't think, sadly, there's a Flecktarn M65 unless another company makes it, because I don't think the West Germans use, or modern Germany uses a actual jacket like this, but they have kind of their own similar thing, because lots of nations that don't use the M65 do have very similar jackets that aren't, you know, totally the same. So I wouldn't even call them M65 clones, but, you know, ones with 2 to 4 pockets on the front, normally zip up and buttons, you know, very similar jackets. I've got 2 old Yugoslavian jackets which are, you know, almost the exact same thing, that they don't have removable liners, but the outside of the jacket is pretty much the same. But yeah, as I said, I really do like M65 jackets, so big thumbs up from me for M65s. It's just often I hear people complaining they can't get a good all-weather coat for not that much money that's all that rugged, and like, because get an M65, they're great. So yeah, so as I said, big thumbs up from me, M65 jackets. I could go on all day about M65s, but if you want a good all-round coat that doesn't cost an arm and a leg, get an M65 and you can get in whatever colour or camo you want. I said you can get an olive drab or yellow if you don't want one that looks too military. I think on some of them you can take the epaulets off as well. Yeah, you can. Like on this one, or at least unfold it. But yeah, so as I said, M65s are very good value for money, and they are very good all-weather coats.